Hey guys, SK here, back with another Clash Royale video. Hope you guys are all doing well. As you can see, we are currently in the Royal Tournament in the final few stages. There are only 4 hours and 6 minutes left. I did lose out on my main account at 19 wins and 5 losses, so I'm currently on a new account, on one of my mini accounts at 15 and 1. I did just beat this broken Giant Skeleton Royal Hog deck with Mirror. I don't know why people are still using it, but yeah, I'm playing this slightly different Expo deck with Archer Queen and the Cannon, so it is similar to Throughput Expo Cycle and also similar to the other Queen Bow deck with Rocket, but I'm playing it with Fireball, and I just feel like it's nicer overall. I feel like the Rocket version is probably the best deck right now, but Fireball is just pretty versatile against a lot of different matchups. Okay, so my opponent goes for a Prince at the start, and I'm going to learn from my mistakes last time, because I feel like it is kind of risky to go in when there's a Prince coming down, so I'm actually just going to chill here, and I think it's definitely worth it. So I'm going to pop my Queen ability to DPS down this Giant. I think I can defend it without having to go for a Cannon. Going to log everything back as well, and I think I will cycle back to my Skeletons just to keep my Queen alive. And now my opponent just wasted his Giant, his Prince, and his Miner, and I do have a very healthy Queen coming down. So Fireball should be forced on this, otherwise, yeah, Queen is just going to go crazy. Gonna log on the Dark Prince and Ewes as well, and that's just going to be a connection. And Queen also gets a hit. Mega Minion comes down. I'm just going to stall it out with a Fire Spirit just to get a bit more of a connection. And, okay, maybe I should be going Skeletons for the Mega Minion, but I guess I'm fine taking one hit. I thought maybe the Fire Spirit stalling it would have helped, but I guess doesn't make sense. But anyways, I did upload my most recent video, was the part 3 to my Royal Tournament run, and unfortunately, as you saw at the start, the run was concluded at 19 wins, so I did unfortunately lose out, which is why I wanted to make another video possibly with this slightly different Expo deck, because I think it's definitely better. Wow, really interesting Prince out of my opponent there. Gonna go for a Cannon off to the side to DPS down the Prince. Also gonna protect the Cannon with a Fire Spirit because I don't want it to charge and one-shot the Cannon. And just like that, I think we actually just won. Because Giant's definitely going to get taken out by this Cannon. So will the Dark Prince. I can actually just log to reset the charge. And I'm honestly really surprised. But also, this is incredible because this is kind of a testament to how good this deck is. Or at least this version where I have the Cannon and the Queen instead of the Archers and Tesla. Because both are just significantly better versions of the other card. Cannon is in every single way better than the Tesla, with the exception of being able to hit air. But otherwise, it's totally fine. And Queen is better than Archers in every single way, except for cost, I guess. But 3-card cycle, ability, everything is just insane. And also Cannon is amazing against Giant, which is being shown in full effect here, I feel like. And even though I did give my opponent Fireball value there, I think it's fine. Cannon does get one stab, or one blast onto the Prince to take it out. And Miner Zap really aggressive by my opponent there. So I'm actually going to get another connection on the left. So even if he somehow manages to take my right side tower, I will have a huge lead in the left to go off of. I'm just going to protect this Expo for fun. And his tower is actually really low. We could maybe get a second crown, unless he doesn't allow us to. Okay, looks like he doesn't want us to, unfortunately. But yeah, we basically won in both lanes against a pretty hard matchup. Giant Double Prince with Miner is definitely not an easy one, especially for 3 Expo cycles, so I feel like this version of the deck definitely shows how good it can be, and this is a good matchup to kind of exemplify that. But yeah, I guess it does kind of suck that I lost out at 19 on my main, because usually that never really happens. But of course, there are a lot of really bad matchups. I'm not trying to complain and just say, oh my god, I got hard countered every single game, that's why I lost. But at the same time, you can't really ignore it. I mean, you guys can watch the video if you want. It was my part 3 Royal Tournament with Throughput Expo cycle. I got hard countered a lot, and so I feel like 3.0 is just in a really hard spot in the meta. I did talk about it before even playing as well, so it is understandable. I think I actually got countered almost every single match in that video, except for like the P.E.K.K.A matches, I guess. But the first 2 wins were both hard counters for my opponent's side as well, I remember that. So Barbarrel Tombstone in this next match. Baby Dragon as well, could be either Golem or Splash Yard. I'm hoping it's going to be Splash Yard, because that would definitely be better. Golem is probably going to be a pretty hard matchup, and it is going to be Splash Yard after seeing the poison, so I'm pretty happy about that actually. Just going to pop my ability to keep the Queen alive and take out the Baby Dragon. Pretty natural play. And I think I will go for an Expo now because my opponent just used his poison and goes for an Ice Wizard on the Queen. So gonna try and cycle. Okay, wow, that's actually really unfortunate. My Fire Spirit gets taken out by the Skelly King plus that one skeleton, so that really sucks. Gonna try and kite all of this up high, because that is actually quite a lot of troops coming down with the Skelly King spawn ability, and I think I'm gonna have to take some damage, unfortunately, because I definitely don't want to waste a fireball or a queen on that. So yeah, pretty unfortunate going down so much elixir early on. I think that interaction would have definitely gone better for me if the Fire Spirit actually jumped and didn't die. Then I would have been able to block the Expo with my Knight as well, but it is what it is. Gonna Queen here to catch the Ice Wizard. I actually was just trying to DPS down the Baby Dragon, not trying to catch anything, but it worked out. Hopefully get a small connection. Okay, we get like 100 damage, which is honestly not much, because we have quite a lot to come back from. But this should be quite a good matchup. I feel like I might prefer Rocket in this matchup, in all honesty, compared to Fireball. That's another consideration when talking about this Queen Bow deck. I know a lot of you guys always ask me, you know, what's the best Expo deck in the meta, and stuff like that, especially on my 3.0 videos, where I always say that it's in a pretty hard spot. And I definitely think a deck similar to the one I'm playing right now is the best one. Some form of Queen Bow, whether you have Fireball or the Rocket, and also having the Cannon, just because it's a really good building again. But yeah, I'm just getting some Fireball damage here. I think I will Expo just because I don't really want my opponent to go for a big graveyard push in the right. Gonna try and kite the Skelly King out of Expo range as well. Gonna Cannon for the Ice Wiz, and one little detail about the Cannon, as you can see right here, unfortunately it does not actually tank for a Baby Dragon at the bridge, whereas a Tesla placed in the same placement would actually take the targeting of the Baby Dragon, so that's just one small little detail there. And Graveyard comes down, gonna have to go for a Log. So Log is basically gonna be your key against most Graveyard pushes, especially if they're tanked for, or if they poison off your defense, just because it does help clean out any kind of clutter. We get one Queen hit in the left, which is pretty good. Definitely gonna have to let this Expo go in the right, and gonna go Knight just to tank for my Cannon, I think, because it should actually help out against the inner circle skeletons, which I think will be pretty useful, especially because this Baby Dragon is tanking. And unfortunately, some skeletons still get some damage there, so this is not looking so good for me right now, but I'm still going to try and come back. I think I probably need a small Expo connection to come back here. I don't think Fireball damage will cut it, but I will definitely take Fireballs when I can. I think that's one good example, you know, hitting both the Tombstone and the Baby Dragon. Even just Fireballing Tombstone is sometimes fine, but yeah. Ice Wiz comes down. Unfortunately, my Queen's going to go down, but I'm going to go for a Cannon just to kind of take all of this out before it stays on the board for too long and causes a threat. He goes Baby Dragon, so since I just used my Log, I'm going to Expo because now I don't actually have Log and Cycle for the Graveyard, so I actually don't want him to go for a Graveyard push. So kind of diverting his attention there, forcing out the poison as well, which is not bad. We might actually get a small connection. We do, which is, again, really good, because I think that was definitely necessary. Going to Fireball as well. Maybe get our Queen some damage, or, okay, force out the Skelly King ability, just as good, in my opinion. And now I think we're just going to set up with a Cannon. He might go in the left, because I just used my Cannon, plus he has a Baby Dragon coming down. Okay, never mind, he doesn't. So, also notice I'm going for these really high Queens. Okay, actually really good prediction poison out of my opponent's end there. But I'm just going to cycle a Fireball. He does not have poison and cycle. Going to stack multiple Cannons as well for this push. Gonna go Knight, and look at this insane Log value, plus the Cannon's just putting in a lot of work. Cannon is such a good building because it has such a good hit speed. So it's actually probably the best building against Graveyard, I think. Definitely better than Tesla, better than Bomb Tower, definitely better than Inferno Tower. And it's just such good DPS as well because it has such a fast hit speed. Gonna make sure I don't choke to the Baby Dragon. And okay, one skeleton. I think we are, even if we took one more skeleton hit, we would have been fine, because I think it does 81 damage at tournament standard. But yeah, really close at the end there. Glad we were able to come back though. I mean, we were down like 900, 1000 damage in single. So I definitely think that it was nice that we were able to come back from that deficit, even though I feel like that's a pretty good matchup still. And yeah, Skeleton does do 81 damage as I thought. We actually do get our Skeleton Mastery there as well. So just going to collect that real quick here. Level 2 Skeletons coming down. And yeah, Splash Yard, pretty good matchup again. Hopefully we still get pretty good matchup luck. Hopefully all my bad luck has been washed away by my main account's run earlier on. Found next match against Aggressivo. Let's see what he's going to be running. Hopefully not too bad of a matchup. But we'll have to find out. I still think this deck has a better chance against hard counters compared to 3.0, because we do have the Queen with a 3-card cycle. You know, we have the cannon, and we still have the fireball, which means we can still outplay a lot of matchups. Because rocket is good for rocket cycling, but it is also not as versatile as fireball, I feel like. We do see a bowler, just going to go for an X-bow, I guess. I think it might be a giant graveyard, so I definitely want to try and get an early connection, and I don't know what my opponent was thinking there. Goes for a giant, does not have enough elixir for a graveyard because he just spent a bowler, which is 5. And goes for a Skarmy, just going to log, and unfortunately I wasn't able to keep my queen alive. But still, X-bow is on tower. He goes for a snowball. I don't know what is going through my opponent's head right now, but he has giant graveyard with bowler, which is like one of the hardest matchups in the entire game for the deck, and we just got a huge connection and singled by the sole virtue of my opponent just messing up big time. I'm gonna spam WoW here because I'm really surprised. Also just gonna give a king laugh because this is a terrible matchup. And I'm actually just going to leak right now because I don't want to cycle anything. You might go like giant graveyard at the bridge. Okay, bowler. I think I'm just going to go for an X-bow. I don't really want a knight in the back. I think it would just kind of walk up and then get taken out by the bowler. I'd rather knight on my own side when his push is getting bigger. And now he goes for a giant, so I'm expecting the giant graveyard any time now. Yeah, there it is. Going to go knight for the bowler and definitely have to log this graveyard. Going to wait quite a bit though to get quite a few accumulated skeletons, and then fire spirit skeletons should also clean up pretty well. I mean, we take about 1,000 damage there, but that is totally fine because all I have to do now is defend for the next minute, which means probably 2 more graveyard pushes max. I think I can definitely do it if I just full on defend. And the reason this is such an impossible matchup, by the way, is because he has bowler on top of the giant graveyard. So as if giant graveyard wasn't already a hard counter, bowler is yet another perfect counter to the X-bow. So even if I outcycle the giant, he does have the bowler there. Of course, he messed up big time in single by giving me a huge connection and actually gave me another connection. So even if I didn't get the huge connection at the start, I would have gotten another lock with the second one. He actually does have a Night Witch, which is also really annoying. I think I'm going to try and fireball everything off there because that is quite a big pain. Hopefully I hit everything, and okay, nice, I did. Gonna log for the graveyard too, knight for the bowler, and X-bow is helping out against the graveyard skeletons. We took like 600 damage there, but now there are only 20 seconds left, so I totally think we can defend this one. Gonna go for a cannon up high, maybe kite the giant really far, out of X-bow range even possibly, and yeah, gonna try and push it in with skeletons. Gonna fire spirit for the bats, knight for the graveyard, and then I do have a log plus queen ability that I was saving. So queen ability isn't that good against the graveyard. I don't actually think I even need it here. Pretty much a perfect game. I took quite a lot of damage, but that is just a terrible, terrible matchup. I am actually quite shocked that we are still getting hard counters like those, which aren't even really meta. But I guess what can you expect? The meta hates X-bow. But I was able to win, and yeah, I feel like a lot of it was because of this deck with the queen's help. Archers obviously would have been good, but they do just get arrows away by his arrows, of course. So usually, while they are a great counter to graveyard, it is still pretty bad. And we got 2 hard counters, or 2 counters at least. That one was definitely an ultra hard counter, but the giant double prince I feel like was also pretty bad. But yeah, found next match against I Love Furry. So not going to judge his preference, I guess, but just going to cycle a log, give him the good luck back, and let's see what he has. Looks like he has a cycle deck of his own with skeletons and log and E-Spirit, so okay, Goblin Barrel comes in. Gonna go for a queen just to activate king off the E-Spirit. We do take quite a bit of damage, which is unfortunate. But I was also hoping to maybe bait out a rocket on my queen, because it is going to be log bait, because then we could go for an X-bow plus knight or something. Gonna go for an X-bow now anyways, though. Pop my queen's ability, and he does have an Inferno Tower. Queen is going to get some damage at least, though. Yeah, 1 hit. Okay, actually 1 hit isn't really a big deal, but yeah, just going to Fire Spirit, mitigate 2 Dark Goblin hits. Still gets quite a lot of damage, unfortunately. Skeletons are the best cycle card counter to the Dark Goblin, but still, we were able to mitigate some damage at least. And if he does have Rocket, this should be a pretty hard matchup, I think. Just going to go Knight for this barrel. We do take some damage again. Okay, unfortunately Knight didn't swing that early on, but I'm going to try and make something happen right here, and I did save my log for the Dark Goblin. He actually just goes for a Dark Goblin and kind of wastes it. I don't know what is up with that, but I'm going to go for an X-bow after. Okay, he goes for a Valk. I did not think he would have had Valk. That kind of sucks because that actually just shredded my entire push, and now I'm kind of just down 1,000 damage for no reason. But going to go for another X-bow here. Fire Spirit for the Inferno as well. Going to go Knight as well. Looks like we did catch the Inferno Tower, which is pretty good. I do have log and cycle again for this Dark Goblin, so going to log it off instantly. He has a log of his own, but that is going to be a connection. Going to go Skeletons as well, even though I would rather maybe save Skeletons for his barrel to stall it out a bit. I think that lock was definitely more valuable. I'm just going to give him the Goblin This Is Fine emote back, and we did kind of get our damage back. We are pretty similar. Going to go for an Expo now, test the waters. He just wasted his Inferno, so he's going to have to Rocket if he has it, and he does. So if he didn't have Rocket there, it would have been a really lucrative opportunity, but it is still fine. I think I'm going to have to Fireball this. Okay, I could have gone Fire Spirit, but I didn't know it was on the left. I'm sure if you guys have been watching me for a while, you probably know that I'm not the best at catching barrels and seeing their exact placements. I mean, I know if it's a tricky barrel like far back, but I don't really know if it's in the front or on the side that easily, to be honest. Just going to cycle a log on this because I do get tower damage, and I can still defend this pretty easily because I do have Activated King only taking one hit. I guess that is still one hit, which I don't really want to take, but it's not too bad. And Inferno Tower Valk comes down. I don't think I can defend that without my Knight Cycle, unfortunately, so just going to let it go. And yeah, we are not in the clear yet, I would say, because he does have Fast Cycle Logbait. He has the E-Spirit, and I think he has Skeletons too, if I'm not mistaken. And I know he definitely has E-Spirit. Gonna go Cannon for this Dark Goblin though, and let's see. I don't really want to Expo just as yet. Yeah, he does have Skeletons. Gonna Fireball the Valk off though. Looks like I missed it. Oops. But this is gonna be a really nice trick, Fire Spirit. To fully counter a barrel. If you guys didn't know, I definitely recommend learning that trick. I actually didn't really have it perfectly learned myself until recently, but it is a huge help with any Fire Spirit deck against Logbait. This time I'm just going to Fireball, and we are actually in the lead, so that's pretty good, and he's going to have to start rocketing me if he wants to get damage. Goes for a Prediction Inferno, going to take it out, and oh my god, he actually goes Rocket. Definitely not the right play, because I feel like, even though I said he does need to get Rocket damage, if you mess up a prediction like that, you do not follow through with the Rocket. You usually Rocket if you get the prediction successfully, because the threat is neutralized, kind of. But he literally just messed up the prediction and still rocketed, so that was basically 11 elixir on nothing. I'm going to give him the laugh just because he gave the good luck. I think he was mad, I'm not sure, but that is not an easy matchup, I would say, since he does have 2 cycle cards. So again, pretty hard matchup, and we were able to win. Logbait cycle there. Pretty interesting. Have not seen it without Mighty Miner actually in quite a long time, but we were able to win, and I don't know why my opponent went for that Rocket in all honesty, but I will definitely take it because it did let me win. Now we're at the same score as our main account, but with 4 less losses. Let's try and get the 20th win. I forgot to say, but I think I didn't say it, but my goal is going to be 20 wins for this video. I'm just kind of making up for the fact that I didn't get it on my main when I usually always do. So again, like, it kind of sucks I wasn't able to get the 20, because normally I always get at least 20. I don't lose that early on, but yeah. Gonna Expo opposite to this giant skeleton here, and maybe we get a connection. Looks like we do, and it is gonna be Hog Earthquake, but Earthquake Log is totally fine because I actually get, like, I think 900 damage total from that or something. Yeah, pretty good chip damage there. Definitely gonna help out. And yeah, Knight's going to take care of the giant skeleton. Going to go for a cannon for this hog. I was actually looking away for a second, so I saw it a bit late, which is why I placed it late. But I think, yeah, we were still fine. He didn't have Earthquake in cycle. But yeah, his tower is pretty low, or I guess not that low, but we definitely need this damage lead because Hog EQ is again going to be a pretty hard matchup. But with this early lead, I think if we defend perfectly the entire game, we should be able to win. The keyword is perfectly, though, because you do have pretty little room for error in a matchup like this. You need to play it pretty well, I think. And there is a trick where you can bypass the Earthquake on the cannon by pushing the hog 1 tile over to an out-of-bound cannon placement. I'm definitely going to try that out, but if I mess it up, it'll be really disastrous, so hopefully I don't. But yeah, okay, he goes for a Queen at the bridge, just going to Fireball it back, and then I can go for a Fire Spirit afterwards, and I think we won't take any damage, or at least hopefully we won't. Okay, yeah, nice. And our Queen actually does get 2 hits, wow, so further cementing the lead. I don't know what my opponent's really doing there, but I'll take it. Gonna just cycle a log next, and if he goes for a hog, I can try the trick. Giant skeleton in the back, I guess I'm just gonna Knight myself. And yeah, I'm kind of worried though, because if I do mess up the cannon, then it'll be pretty bad, but if I don't go for the cannon placement, then it'll also not be pretty good, because he will just be able to Earthquake and take the cannon out easily. Cannon is pretty weak to Earthquake, unless you do the trick, of course. Hopefully I can show it to you guys. I was going to Expo, but he did go for a Queen, so I'm just going to go for a Queen ability of my own, and now go for an Expo. I think he might be back to Giant Skeleton. Okay, looks like he's back to it now at least. He was definitely cycling pretty aggressively there. but gonna go for a Knight after, and gonna go for a cannon. Fortunately, I did not have the best cycle to do the cannon bypass, but he actually does Earthquake, which means I might get a small connection here. Yeah, I definitely do. So gonna go for a Knight. Okay, actually definitely misjudged the Giant Skeleton Death Bomb. I really thought it would not do that much. So that Knight was definitely just a really big waste of 3 elixir there. But still, you know, it's still fine because we're up by 1,200, over 1,200 damage. I'm just gonna cycle. I'm holding on to my cannon to try and do the bypass. And he goes for a Hog. I do not have any cycle cards in hand though, so I still can't really do it. And I'm going to have to kite this Giant Skeleton into my Knight. Unfortunately, I really mess up there with that defense. Taking 2 Hog hits, that's going to be pretty painful. I definitely have to avoid defenses like that in the future because I cannot afford to take a lot of damage in a matchup like this especially. Okay, goes for the Hog, going to try and do the bypass. And, oh wow, that is really unfortunate. I actually don't think I messed up the placement. I think I did it, but he had a skeleton on the field, which kind of messed up with my skeleton pushing mechanics, and he's giving me a sarcastic well played. Kind of sucks to just lose all of it. Like I said, if I do mess up that placement or trick, it will cost the game. I don't think I did mess up the placement though. I'm pretty sure I had it right, because I'm pretty sure my skeletons were off to the side, but he did have a skeleton. I guess I should have accounted for that. Maybe push the skeletons even more to the side to make up for that. But yeah, it always sucks because really small micro interactions like those can obviously cost you the match. So yeah, not much I could have really done though. I guess I should have gone for a low cannon and then maybe tried to defend the Hog afterwards. My opponent's really sticking the BM to me, even though I feel like that is a pretty bad matchup because he has the Giant Skeleton, of course. But we do get some masteries, I guess, which I will definitely take. Level 2 log coming in. I do get 2 extra logs. Okay, it does unlock at level 12. I guess I'll just upgrade my log. Why not? I think I also got a Fire Spirit Master. Yeah, there it is. So let's just claim that. And I mean, it does suck to lose to that, but let me know, I guess, guys, because I'm not sure if I did mess up that placement or not. I'm pretty sure I didn't, but I think the skeleton is the thing that threw it off. I think I did play it correctly, but the skeleton pushed the Hog back. Like, I pushed the Hog over, then the skeleton pushed it back or something like that. Or the skeleton just pushed my skeletons over, preventing me from doing the push. But either way, that is basically the premise of how you want to defend the Hogs in that matchup. You want to push it over to the cannon, but obviously if you mess up, then the results are devastating. So yeah, we do take our second loss in the tourney, but still we only have 2 losses and another new beginning in this match. Let's try and get a nice win here. Gonna pop my ability and skeletons as well. Golden Knight dash comes out. Queen is going to be healthy counter pushing, so should force something out. Golden Knight and Royal Ghost, so this could actually be Bridge Spam or Goblin Drill, and I hope it's not Drill. We do see an Ewiz, which could actually still be both, I think, because it is run in both decks. Let's go for a Knight and see how he wants to respond. If he kites it with like a Batter Ram, and we obviously know what it is, but he does go for a Barbarrel instead, so I actually think this is going to be Goblin Drill, which is going to be a pretty hard matchup. Going to cycle my Fire Spirit in the left, not the right, because the Barbarian was there blocking. And I'm going to have to go for a High Queen because I do not want to take that Golden Knight dash. Gonna have to log as well, so kind of sucks. I committed quite a lot there. Maybe I should have gone for my Queen ability because Queen is basically dead after that. And I am gonna have to go for a Knight for this Ghost, unfortunately. And usually this Bridge Spam deck does have Giant Skeleton and Magic Archer. I'm not sure about my opponent's exact version because there are lots of variations. This is basically one of the most broken decks in the game, at least prior to the Giant Skeleton nerf. It was emergency nerf 5% HP, which I feel like wasn't that much, but it's obviously better than nothing. But yeah, Drill is also a really overpowered card, I feel like. And I remember talking my balance change analysis video where Expo was nerfed with the Fireball, I think. And I remember saying that I think Goblin Drill and Giant Skeleton were both overpowered and missed opportunities. We can go for an Expo on the left. He just spent a Barbarrel plus Golden Knight, 2 Expo counters, and he does unfortunately have a Cannon Cart. Still though, going to log it back. Nice little trick you can do. Bit of an overcommitment, but it is going to force something else out. Does force the Ghost out, which will force the Knight out on my own end, but Knight will also force a response out on his side, plus Queen forced out the Ewiz. And yeah, he does have the Cannon Cart. So I feel like in this matchup, Rocket is better because you can just Rocket Cycle. In this, with my deck, with the Fireball, you are actually going to have to get a connection, I think. So I'm just going to set up a defensive Expo because there's no real point going in if he's just going to keep on defending it pretty well. I'm going to try a little trick here, log, and then Fire Spirit for the barrel. And I actually did mess it up pretty bad. But that is a really high level trick that a lot of pros use. I actually learned it from Riley, one of my friends. where you log the barrel first and then go for a Fire Spirit, and that basically bypasses them going for any kind of spell on your first defense, because you are just logging. Log is like, you know, immune to spells. But gonna actually maybe get a connection here. Gonna log this Gold Knight back, and we do actually get a connection with the help of the defensive expo. So that was a really nice little sequence I set up. Just first going for a defensive expo, and then going in with the help of it. And I'm going to go for another defensive expo. It looks like he predicted it on offense with a ghost, so pretty happy I didn't do it there. I'm going to go for a knight for the ghost, protect my expo, and then skeletons plus log to fully defend this drill. As you can see, the drill does still get damage even if you play your skeletons, so sometimes it's really annoying. Actually, just going to cycle a fireball, and he does have Magic Archer in the deck, but Defense Expo will take it out, so it's kind of just a wasted 4 elixir there. And now I'm going to go for a cannon at the bridge. This is better because it is like a cheaper Tesla in this sense. And look at that DPS, like that DPS is unmatched. I get another connection just because of how good cannon is. Such a broken card, but going to go for a queen. And I can actually probably just expo with this queen. Going to not do it right away just in case he predicts, but looks like my queen is going to walk up anyway, so it's fine. And he goes for a defensive drill, which is something you never really want to do, of course, so looking like a really good situation for me right now. Gonna log this barb back, and then we do get yet another expo connection. So Ewiz is gonna be forced out. Gonna go skeletons just to predict the Ewiz. Nice. Unfortunately, though, the Gold Knight does mess that up, but gonna go for a high cannon, anti-Gold Knight placement, because if you play it too low, it will dash onto your tower. And I'm gonna try the trick again. Gonna log the drill. Looks like I did get the perfect log time. I'm gonna go for a Fire Spirit now, and he actually does get a nice tornado off, but yeah, that's basically the premise of the trick I was talking about. You want to log the first goblin and then Fire Spirit to clean up the second two, because Fire Spirit does kill goblins, and that is just going to be a really nice anti-drill tech there. And with any deck that has Fire Spirit plus skeleton, it's going to fireball on defense here, plus Fire Spirit for the ghost, might as well, and then cannon. That's actually okay. I realized as soon as I played it, it was kind of a misplay because, yeah, I allowed the Magic Archer to snipe it, getting like 4 hits there, but still, I don't know why he went for a cannon cart. There's no need for me to go in. I can just chill out and defend. Ghost is being a bit annoying though, so gonna use Fire Spirit to pull it back, gonna log the Goblin away, and then, yeah, it looks like we did get a really nice win there. Goblin still gets a hit, but that's gonna be a good game. My opponent looks like he's a bit upset about that one, but yeah, I feel like that's not my matchup with Cannon Cart. Or maybe it is, since I do have the Queen, Cannon, and Fire Spirit. Definitely better than 3.0. That would definitely hard counter 3.0. And also, he didn't have Giant Skeleton. So that is going to be 20 wins, though, in the global tournament with Queen Bow, Cannon, Fireball. So slightly different version. We did beat some really insane hard counters in the video. Beat Giant Graveyard with Bowler. Beat Giant Double Prince. Beat Logbait. I also beat that Giant Skeleton Pigs mirror deck earlier. And I did unfortunately lose to Hoggy Q, but if I didn't mess that one interaction up, I think I would have won. And we also beat Drill. So overall, I'd say pretty fruitful video, really nice matches, and pretty good stuff there. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video, making up for my unfortunate 19 wins yesterday. But yeah, that's going to be it for the video, guys. So thank you so much for watching. Take care, and I will see you in the next one.